What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you part 1 of our story series for Baldur's Gate 1. So, if you're unfamiliar with how I like to do my story series, because honestly I haven't done one in a while, plus I've gained a ton of new subscribers since then, what I like to do is walk people through the plot of the game story beat by story beat, so we'll kind of be playing the game at the same time. That said, not really going over a lot of side content. Truthfully, there's not that much in this particular game that's that amazing anyway. Most of it's pretty short quests. Not to say they're bad, just pointing that out. So we're just focused on the main story and the actual plot, which is fairly linear. There's some stuff here and there I'll call out that can kind of change depending on what you do. But for the most part, it's pretty linear, and it all kind of resolves the same way regardless.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
So as we learned from the narration there, we are the ward of a man named Gorion who has been taking care of us. We don't know who our parents are, and we were raised in a place called Candlekeep, but recently Gorion has expressed that we need to leave, and he gives you some money, takes you to the Candlekeep Inn, tells you to get geared up, and meet him outside the library so you guys can leave. So that's where the game actually starts. And you need to do just that. You need to ideally buy yourself some gear at the inn. In addition to those things, there are a couple of quests around Candlekeep that you can do. This is kind of your chance to get acquainted with the game. And if you go into 2 specific buildings inside Candlekeep, you will be attacked by an assassin who is there to kill you. What we don't know is why anyone would want to do this, but they are very clearly after you, which would obviously lend some immediacy to Gorion's request that you guys need to leave. Now, right before you get to Gorion, you will be stopped by a woman named Imowen, who seems to be your childhood friend, basically. Now, she will express that she's aware that you guys are leaving, and she wants to come with you, but is aware she won't be allowed to, so she just kind of lets it go. And then whenever you're ready, you can talk to Gorion. Now, he won't really tell you what's going on, or why specifically you guys need to leave, but it's pretty obvious the assassins have something to do with it. Now, as you guys are leaving, the little scripted event in-game here, Gorion will tell you that if you guys ever get separated, you need to head to the Friendly Arm Inn to meet his friends, Jaheira and Khalid, who can help you. Now, almost immediately after this, you guys get ambushed, and Gorion gets attacked and killed while sending you away. So you guys get attacked by people who are clearly there for you, they state as much, and this is also the same armored man that we saw in the intro cinematic, which is something we, the player, would know. Now, to Gorion's credit, he does kill most of them, but is ultimately killed himself. Then we get this short narration here.
Dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Now, once that happens and we will be met on the road by Imowen, who basically expressed her desire to escape Candlekeep on her own terms and then come with you. It is actually possible to avoid taking anyone into your party, because even if you tell Imowen to leave here, she still joins your party, but if you don't want her in your party, just leave before she has a chance to talk to you, and that'll sort that out. She does tell you that she saw what happened to Gorion and she feels terrible about it. She mentions that he might have a letter on his body kind of explaining why you guys had to leave, which is true. You can go grab that letter. To an extent, it kind of explains a little more, but it's still super vague and is signed by a man named E, or just E, I guess. But the letter just kind of explains that the powers that be have decided to let something just play out and be what it is, and he decided to at least warn Gorion beforehand. Now, all super vague explains basically nothing. Now, also on this map, we can run into Zar and Montaron, who are two adventurers headed to Nashkel to investigate some troubles there. They will express a desire to join your party, if you would like, to help them get to Nashkel, where they can then talk to the mayor there, Baron Gastkill, to kind of look into that. Now, you can head to the Friendly Arm first, which is what I suggest you do, but upon exiting to the next map, you will be stopped by an old man in red robes, who will basically point you in the direction of Friendly Arm Inn, and kind of express just kind of general oddity, but not much to be garnered from that conversation right this second. And then you can head up to the Friendly Arm Inn, which is the map north of this one. The inn here seems to be actually sort of a castle that was converted into an inn, but upon trying to enter the actual inn itself, you will be stopped by a man named Tarnesh, who is very curious about who you are and where you've come from. And regardless of how you answer, even if you're not straightforward about who you actually are, Tarnesh turns out to be another assassin sent to kill you, making it very clear, if it wasn't clear up to this point, that whatever is going on, these people are definitely after you for whatever reason, though you have no information about that. Now, once you get inside the inn, we can find Khalid and Jahira in the upper left corner of the room here. And when we talk to them, they will express, of course, knowing who you are and knowing who Gorion was. And while they are terribly sorry for his loss, they were instructed to help you if they could. Now, they understand that you're an adult these days, so ultimately that choice is up to you. But should you take them on as companions, they'll try their best to help you out. Now, Khalid and Jahira would also like to go to Nashkel because they are sort of mercenaries in a way. They describe themselves as people who look into local troubles. So they need to go to Nashkel to investigate the iron shortage. Now, chances are we've heard about this beforehand already, because when you enter the inn, you will actually be stopped and spoken to about someone complaining about the iron shortage, and that basically there seems to be some problems in the Nashkel mines, which is what Jahira and Khalid would like to go investigate. And seeing as you have nothing else to do because your pseudo-father was killed in front of you just a short few days ago and you have nothing else going on in life, that's pretty much where the game picks up. Our next step is to go to Nashkel then. Nashkel is far to the south of the map, as you should be able to see here, but in order to get there, you usually have to stop by Baragost, which is the town in between here and Nashkel. Now, this is typically where you would do a bunch of side quests and stuff. There's a lot going on in and around Baragost, for instance. However, again, this is the story series, so we're just going to skip past all of that and head straight to Nashkel by heading south through the maps. Now, once we actually arrive in Nashkel, that is actually the end of the first chapter. So the first chapter is getting out of Candlekeep, meeting Khalid and Jahira at the inn, and then heading to Nashkel. Now, I do want to take this moment to mention that much of this game is actually skippable as terms of like objectives. So if you don't want to meet Khalid and Jahira, you can just head straight to Nashkel and that will still end chapter 1. Now if you choose to go into the inn in Nashkel, you will be attacked by yet another assassin. But our main goal here is to talk to the mayor, which is just south down the road a little bit. His name is Baron Gastkill again. He will recognize Jahira if they are with you, her and Khalid, and he will express what is happening with the mines. Basically, all the miners keep going missing or are being killed, and then the ore that they do get out of the mine is tainted somehow and basically unusable. And he will point you to the mines, which is just a little farther south of Nashkel proper. Now, once we get to the mines, we actually need to talk to the owner of the mines, who is just south of the entrance, before we can actually get into the mines. He'll give you a day to sort out the problems, but honestly, you can take as long as you want. And then after speaking to him, the guards will step out of the way once you talk to them and you can enter the mines. Now, the mines themselves are your first, big dungeon. It's a 5-level dungeon. And on the first level, we'll run into a bunch of miners who kind of express what they think might be going on in the mines. They'll give you a lot of theories ranging from everything to there's a dragon down there to, just more mysterious stuff. But the quickest way through the mines, typically speaking, is to follow the little rail cart tracks. They will typically lead you to the next level of the mine. And on the second level, upon entering it, we'll be stopped by a miner who is complaining about the yipping demons and how they're after him. And this is where things start to make a little more sense, because immediately after this conversation, that man is killed by kobolds, who then attack you. We have at least part of our answer right there. There's clearly kobolds causing some trouble. Now, on this same level, once we get to the end of this level, if you will, right before you enter the third level, the kobolds we kill right in front of the third level entrance will have vials of mysterious liquid on them. Now, if we right-click that, it will explain that this is likely the residue that is being used to taint the ore. However, it's unlikely kobolds would be able to have done this by themselves. So, with that information, and by the way, if you happen to choose to drink this, it's just poison, so have fun with that. Once we enter the third level, there's not much going on here. We really just need to find the fourth level. And the fourth level is mostly empty. It is going to be housing this big, rock structure in the middle of a lake here, which is where we actually need to go once we make our way over there. In here, we'll find a few things. First of all, there's kobolds that are going to attack us some more. In the little upper northern room, we can find a man named Zan who is being held prisoner. He is one of the potential companions you can have. And then in the smaller room just south of that, we have Mulahey. Now, when you talk to him, when you first walk up to him, he'll express the impression that you were sent by a man named Tazok to execute him. Now, you'll have two dialogue options to either be like, yep, that's totally what we're here for, or be like, that's not what we're here for at all, but you're still going to pay for your crimes type thing. Now, if you admit that you're not sent by Tazok, you'll fight more enemies, whereas if you lie to him, you'll fight less enemies, which is what that dialogue will actually lead to. If you tell him you are sent by Tazok, he'll tell you to look in the chest for letters that should prove he was doing his job. However, once you click into the chest, he'll then attack you with a smaller amount of enemies. Now, once we kill him, he'll drop a bunch of letters. So, these letters actually explain what was going on, but moreover, it's very clear Mulahey was in charge of all the kobolds and they were listening to him. And once we pick up the letters, that's technically the end of chapter 2.
Will relieve the fears of the terrorized folk of Nashkel. But you remain uneasy. While the half-orc may indeed have caused the evils that befell the mine, the shortage of iron is too widespread to be his doing alone. His letters confirm your suspicions, and though they give little indication as to where his cohorts are hiding, they may have links to the bandits that currently plague the coastway.
But actually reading these letters, we will discover that Mulahey was actually working for someone else, a man named Tazok, who sent him down here with the kobolds and the poison for the ore to render these mines unusable, while Tazok and his mercenaries, the Black Talon and the Chill, raided caravans and things, which is what we could have learned about the iron shortage, about how bandits were rounding up all the ore in the area. And these letters confirm that Tazok is leading bandits and mercenaries to do this with, that he's actively, in addition to rendering one of the mines useless, is also attacking caravans and things that might have iron, causing the iron shortage that we've heard about. Now, we also learn a couple other things from this. Mulahey was not supposed to let the kobolds kill people, which then caused all the interest, which is why you're here now, which is what Tazok did not want. But moreover, that Tazok had a sort of point of contact in the Feldpost in Baragost, which is our next lead. Just a couple quick things real quick before we leave the mine. In Mulahey's chest, there is actually the web spell, which is a guaranteed place to get it every time, which is very high value on later difficulties. Moreover, Mulahey will also drop a holy symbol. If you pick that up and take it back to Baron Gastkill, he will give you a reward for clearing out the Nashkel mines. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that after you clear out the mines, if you choose to rest, you will be presented with a dream.
You do not dream often, but tonight the visions are vivid indeed. Long have you walked, But now you find yourself back amidst the stones of Candlekeep. Your former home looms before you, but the gate is closed and barred. Over the walls there is a candle in your old room, but as the light goes out, the brick surrounding the window closes together. The very walls conspire to keep you at bay. A familiar voice startles you. Though it is calm and caring, you cannot go back this way, child. You must go on. Gorion forms before you, and though his image should be comforting, it seems but a shade of his living self. He is dead in your dreams, as in life. The phantom of your foster father gestures toward the blackness of the wood, as though it should be inviting. Perhaps it is, in a way, but the traveling will be hard. As you think this, a smooth and obvious path becomes clear out of the corner of your eye. It seems meant for you, pulls at your very being, and promises to quickly lead you away from the life you once led. Perhaps this would be for the best, but it is a bit too convenient for your liking. You do not wish to dwell upon the loss you have endured, but neither should it be forgotten. Gorion smiles and fades away. The pull becomes a push, but you turn away. Steadfast in your new direction, the way is not quite as clear, but it is sure to be interesting nonetheless. A whisper follows as you stride away. Something vestigial and sinister that you recognize, but yet have never heard. You will learn. You don't look back.
That is given to you in the form of some narration here. Now, in addition to just kind of being cool and giving you some more background kind of about your character throughout the game, these dreams, which we will have more of, actually give our characters special abilities. The first one gives your character the Cure Light Wound special ability, and it gives it to you as a special ability, not a spell. But that is going to do it for part 1, and in our next part we will meet up with Tranzig, Tazok's point of contact at the Feldpost Inn in Baragost. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.